Hey guys, Chaps here, and let's chat about everyone's expectations for Gears 5 going forward. This commentary is sort of different from the other videos I've done, but I think it's something worth discussing. It's going to be sort of interesting. Some of you will see me as just being overly negative about the game, others will see this as me defending the Coalition. It's kind of funny how people could see both of those at the same time, but in reality I'm just trying to have a discussion about realistic expectations. I've seen a trend that started in the middle of Operation 5 and has kinda snowballed to the point that it's at now. Every single blog post, 99% of the comments were along the lines of, "That's it? Stop drip feeding, and where's the content?" Op 6 comes along and TC just gets utterly blasted for it, deservingly so for some aspects in my opinion, but somewhat unfairly in other aspects I'd say. And now we're back to the weekly blog post where, again, every comment is just complaining about the slow content flow rate. Let's take a minute here and talk about expectations. First up, I do want to address one of the big hitters, and that's the bugs. Yes, the game is riddled with bugs still, and somehow each title update seems less polished than the previous one. Go ahead, put the Coalition on full blast for that, I don't blame you. Some of these bugs are things that I'd consider downright inexcusable. If you're coming in each week upset that certain bugs haven't been addressed, I'm right there with you. I will note though that coming in saying, "Why haven't you fixed your servers?" or "Your game is broken" isn't really helping and just makes that person look bad. If you want something fixed, be specific and report it with as much detail as you can. Explain why you don't like something. Anyway, yeah, the bugs are super annoying and it's one of the biggest reasons that I'm rarely playing right now. But onto the real topic for today, and that's to everyone jumping on the bandwagon complaining about every blog post. My question to you simply is, well, what were you expecting? Like, we're getting at least one character skin per week, and then some combination of weapon skins, marks, emotes, banners, or blood sprays. Do you want more? Yeah, obviously everyone wants more, but let's be realistic here. Let's manage expectations. If you go in every week expecting something big, you're probably going to be let down. And no, this isn't me trying to defend TC, and this isn't me trying to be negative. I'm simply stating the facts. You may see the occasional bug fix, and you may see the occasional special event, but outside of those occasional offerings, the weekly updates are basically just going to be showing the store refresh info. If you're expecting more than that, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. I mean, let's face it, let's take a look at what we can expect in the future. We've been told that there's no big tuning changes planned, so don't get your hopes up there. We've been told that they don't have plans to add new classes or significant overhauls for classes, so don't get your hopes up there. Scrapping duplicate cards? Again, not in their plans apparently. What about Wingman, or the one that makes me laugh the most, Beast Mode? Well, they've said they have no plans to add new modes. Like, come on guys, this game is all but in support mode now. If you're expecting big changes, you're gonna be disappointed. To be clear, something certainly could happen to some of those things I just mentioned, but it's probably not best to go in expecting that every time. Here's how I see things going down. The operation drops, and there's 2 or 3 new characters, plus a map. Maybe there's a second map announced, and maybe some special event gets announced. And maybe there's some slight tweaks to an existing mode or feature. Oh, and then obviously the store tour and ranked. Then we have 5 to 6 weeks of what is basically just a weekly store refresh. You know, what we've been seeing recently. Then mid-drop comes around, and it's just like the initial drop, but without the store tour or ranked stuff. And then, of course, we get back to the boring weekly store refresh. That's it. Rinse and repeat. Do I want more than that? Yes, absolutely, and part of me hopes there's some cool surprises along the way. But am I expecting more? No, not really. Now I know there's probably a big group out there saying, "Yes, chaps, we know we shouldn't be expecting much else, but this drip feeding is insane." I won't deny the leaks, we all saw them. The Coalition has a ton of stuff lined up, seemingly ready to go, so why is it coming out so slowly? I mean, they want the game to last, right? Spreading out the content is the best way to do that. We all know that most of the studio is probably working other projects, right? It's not necessarily the Coalition being lazy, and I'll gladly have that conversation with anyone who thinks that. It's simply them being smart about things, I guess. They knew employees would either be transitioning to future projects or possibly reaching the end of their contracts. The smart thing to do is slow down the release and build up a backlog. Sure, they could increase the rate to 2 to 3 character skins per week, but then they'd run out of content twice as fast. It's not like they have an infinite amount of content, and the further into the life cycle, the lower the ROI. Again, if anyone wants to discuss this more, I'm more than willing to discuss it. But even better is, I'd love for the Coalition to discuss it actually. It's not like it's some trade secret, why not just be open and honest with the fans and tell them like it is? Now, the other group that I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge are those saying that Gears 5 has gotten stale and it needs something big to bring it back. I sort of agree. I agree that Gears 5 would need something bigger than what we've been getting in order to rebound. Where I disagree though is that I don't think it really needs to happen. Like, I don't think Gears 5 needs to rebound. Future titles need something big, but not necessarily Gears 5. Think about where we are in the lifespan of the game. How many big things were being added to the other Gears games at this point? It's really just diminishing returns at this point. Their efforts are better spent on the next titles. Yeah, we all want something big, but should we really expect it? I've mentioned the patterns of the past games, and it's not even just Gears, it's every franchise. You're always going to have that downtime between games where support is down. Personally, I'm kinda thankful that Gears 5 is even getting as much support as it has. But, even look at Gears 5 itself, there's a pretty clear trend of things dropping off. After Op 3-ish, they said no new modes. After Op 4, they said no new classes, and after Op 5, they said no new major tuning updates. It's clearly reaching that point in its life cycle where we shouldn't be expecting anything huge. Again, this video is all about expectations. Not wants and desires, but expectations. So I'm going to ask this question again here. For those who are constantly disappointed by the blog post each week, well, what were you expecting? Not what did you want, but what were you expecting? If you think that there's something I missed here, and especially if you disagree with what I'm saying, I'd be really interested in hearing your thoughts. I don't know, maybe this would make a really good topic for a discussion panel or something. Anyway, thanks for listening this far. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I'll see you next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Hey, so this is different, me popping up back at the end here. So in going through my notes, there were a few things that just didn't fit right into this video. I encourage you to check out this bonus video that I've got linked here. It's basically me going over a few of my other notes that didn't quite make it into this video. Okay, so for real this time, see you later.